Let's get more on this from Sami Hamdi, who joins us from Sidi Bouzidi in Tunisia. He's the editor-in-chief of the International Interest. Thank you for joining us on the program. Sami, 9 years since the Libya revolution, what did it accomplish, if anything, especially given the state of the situation in Libya now?
I think if you're looking in terms of exactly what it established on the ground, it established nothing but civil war. There was a series of failures in the immediate aftermath of Gaddafi's overthrow. And essentially, the dynamics of Libya were very different from Tunisia and Egypt. I think one of the things that is very understated in the debate on Libya today and has been understated for the past 9 years is the fact that we talk about Libya as an Arab Spring. We talk about it as a popular protest. And there was a popular protest against Gaddafi. But in Tunisia, we can safely say that people power overthrew Ben Ali in Tunisia. In Egypt, we can safely say people power overthrew Mubarak in Egypt. But in Libya, NATO removed Gaddafi. It was NATO that gave the coordinates. NATO bombed Gaddafi's positions. NATO essentially were the ones who took Gaddafi out of Tripoli and essentially surrendered him to the protesters. And this is the key difference in Libya, because when we look at what Libya has achieved, Libya essentially was removed from the Libyan people with NATO intervention, and NATO decided the future of Libya. Whether it's the French, they wanted the contracts, whether it's the UK that wanted to look for some economic benefits, whether it's the Italians who were upset that one of their key economic partners had fallen, whether it's the EU that wanted Libya to quickly clean up the migration crisis and prevent a terrorism hotbed. At no point were the Libyan people in control. So when we talk about what happened in Libya and the civil war, we have to look at it as Libya itself, not in the context of the Arab Spring. So the answer to your question is they achieved nothing, and neither have NATO actually, who also intervened to remove Gaddafi.
So do you believe the overthrow of Gaddafi actually created a security vacuum in Libya that allowed armed groups to emerge throughout the country?
I don't think it's the overthrow of Gaddafi itself. I think removing Gaddafi was not what caused the situation in the first place. Let's put some context. When Gaddafi was overthrown, remember that video, remember that very brutal video of the way he's killed, where he's looking at his killers and he says, "Wash amaltkum, what did I do to you?" Remember the aftermath where the militias acted with impunity and stormed the houses of people. Remember the environment where if a neighbor wanted to punish a neighbor, he would tell the militias, "Look, that person used to work with Gaddafi," and they would storm the house and sometimes they would kill those civilians. Then remember how the government that came afterwards via the elections passed a law banning Gaddafi-era politicians, essentially enshrining that attitude, enshrining that revenge. When Libya needed healing, instead there was a policy of revenge taking place. Now imagine when Haftar comes in, this Gaddafi-era general, or Saif al-Islam Gaddafi it becomes put forward as an election. If you're one of these people, you're thinking, look, these guys in Tripoli are manic, you know, they're crazy, they're militias, they come and they kill and they storm. Beni Walid was blockaded by all of those militias. I'm not saying that all of these, the attitudes are justified. What I'm saying is Libya essentially became polarized, not necessarily because of Gaddafi was overthrown, but because of the actions of those who came afterwards. It was revenge. And this is why when you look at the schism in Libya today, the people backing Haftar may not like Haftar, but they despise the people in Tripoli for what they did after Gaddafi. And the people in Tripoli despise Haftar because he represents that anti-revolutionary movement. And this is why it's not Gaddafi, it's the actions that came afterwards that laid the groundwork for the civil war.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for your insight, as always, Sami Hamdi, joining us from Tunisia. Thank you.